I am wearing my Bruce Lee hoodie. How's my audio? We're good here? We're
It
good?
sounds okay. Glad you got a mic. Do you like
I'm
to hold it like that? Like cusp it? Like slowly cusp your
okay.
microphone? Do you like holding your microphone like that?
What, like that? You want it to
Yeah.
be gay?
Now it sounds
No,
really
sir.
loud.
Like that. It's really loud, right?
That sounds terrible.
No, I don't. That's what I'm asking you. So I want to see what it sounds like to you. To me, it
Well, you'll
sounds good.
hear it when you listen to the episode.
Yeah, but I can't. You can't. I don't want to have a shitty sound.
You sound okay.
All right. How's that? We're good.
That's way too loud.
Too loud, really?
Just pull it away from your face. Why are you holding it up so close? You're not
I
like
don't.
giving the Grammys or Oscars like, hey, everybody, the next nominees.
Actually, I was about to give the.
So arm wrestling, since we can't talk about everything else because everything else is like, no, we got to keep it light, taboo. I know your don't go to topic, the one that went 3 hours long that you're like, no.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I just smoked a lot. That's the difference. The last time we spoke, I was actually completely sober. Like there was no, yeah, there was no high, there was no nothing. That was just me. That's why I was getting so damn angry. That's why I was getting so angry.
Because you see it so clearly, and then everyone else is just living a lie.
Well,
it makes sense.
I have to hold the mic here.
The issue is I understand it because it does make a lot of sense. And actually, I've been diving deep into like the videos and seeing like the people from planes and stuff. And it makes a lot of sense. But Eddie Bravo is not a flat earther anymore, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was on a recent episode of Joe Rogan. I heard that and I was like, oh, damn, that would suck to tell Jason that, to figure out the person that got him into it is not into it anymore.
Honestly, you know what? Knowing Eddie, and I know Eddie, I wouldn't doubt. Here's the thing. If you ask me right now, I wouldn't bring it up either, because I think he's probably, the way I felt that last episode that we didn't put out, he probably felt so like attacked for so long that he gave up. You know what I'm saying? I actually don't believe. I know Eddie, and I know he's a very smart guy. He loves great conversation, but he's not confrontational.
Well, it's kind of like what your dad did when, like, you're wearing a Bruce Lee hoodie, so I got to bring it up. The fact that you're like, oh, Chuck Norris really killed Bruce Lee. You tell that to anybody, you can convince somebody. I bet you can find somebody out there that has a clear line of evidence. I know people that have Instagram pages that say Bill Cosby's innocent and Bill Cosby didn't do anything wrong and all these people are liars. And it's like, you can convince yourself depending on what information you're looking at. So, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, and I get that, and I'm open to that kind of shit. The problem is, though, here's the funny thing, man. Like, I'll tell you, and I don't know where your standpoint is on this whole shit, but like, I'm so over like Earth right now and the fucking mask thing and mandates and this and that and your side and my side and all that shit. I'm so fucking over it, dude. So last night, again, I was high. I ordered a bunch of shit food, so I felt really fucking guilty, and I needed to watch something that would make me feel better. And I watched. It's funny. My go-to movies when I'm feeling kind of down, I can't watch anything sad. You know what I mean? Then I'll get more sad. I don't want to watch anything like a romantic movie or nothing like that because I'm not fucking gay. So not like romantic movies. So but if I get sad, I can't watch that. I can't watch. I love horror movies, but I can't watch them if I'm sad. It's weird. But the one movie I always love to watch if I feel sad is something. What?
Wait, if you're watching a horror movie when you're happy, then you might be a psychopath.
I'm happy, but I don't want to watch it when I'm sad. I like the adrenaline of horror movies. So the only movies I don't fall asleep through.
I like adrenaline movies too, but I don't turn on Lethal Weapon whenever I'm feeling a type of way.
Yeah, but that's like a comedy.
I'm not even a fan of that movie, to be honest with you.
That's like a comedy. The first one's good. Lethal Weapons one's good.
Speed with Keanu Reeves is good.
Speed with Keanu Reeves is great. That's a great movie.
Don't even mention John Wick.
That's a great movie.
Never
John Wick's again. I know I hate you. No, but anyway, my go-to movie for being sad is I put on something, you're gonna laugh, probably, with Captain America in it. I need to watch a Captain America movie. And it's funny. And this might sound preachy, but here's a weird thing, dude. Every time I watch it, I'm not specifically looking for Captain America to give me I don't put it on thinking I'm gonna watch this movie and Captain America is gonna give me a word, you know what I mean, or like motivate me. I just put it on because like I put on Civil War last night, Captain America Civil War.
Damn, I watched that too.
Yesterday, really?
Yeah, I watched it yesterday, a 4-hour elliptical session. I
Yeah.
watched Captain America Civil War, then I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Nice. Yes. So I watched Civil War yesterday, and then it's probably one of my top three favorites because I like the introduction of Spider-Man, bringing back Ant-Man, like introducing them. I just like it. I just think it's well done. I love the Black Panther shit. Anyway, um, but Captain America, and again, I put this on just to watch the movie. Captain America says something during excuse me, when they're the Secretary of State comes in. If you just watch this, so you know what I'm talking about. Secretary of State comes in and he's talking he wants him to sign the Sokovia Accords, right? And Tony Stark's on the side going, yeah, you know what? We've kind of fucked up. We should fess up to it. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. I totally get that. And, and then everyone has their own little things. But Captain America's thing is what he said is, I'm like, dude, I literally paused the movie and I told my wife, that's it. Fuck that. Thank you, Captain America. He said it's not, there's right and wrong on both sides. There's always going to be fault somewhere. But the biggest thing they can't give up is their freedom to choose. And he's like, when you take away our choice, you take away everything. Then there's nothing worth fighting for. And I was like, fuck, dude, Captain America is so that's it. That's what I need to hear. Because in this whole mask thing, vaccines and all this stuff that's going on in the world right now, I don't care if you want to wear a mask. I don't care if you want to wear 4. I don't care if you want to get 10 vaccines and wear a hazmat suit. I just care. I just care. That's not me being emotional. That's weed. Hold on. I
Great
just
content
care.
for a podcast. Great.
Thank you. I just care that that I have a choice. That's it. And if you're, I hate saying the word good or bad, but I just think the right thing to do is always to look at someone's side. I'm a Christian guy, but if you said, well, what do you think if I want to fucking join a satanic cult, worship Satan? Yeah, dude, that's your choice. That's your choice. And please don't come at me with, yeah, but no, I'm not responsible for your health. And no one ever is. No one's ever responsible for anybody's anything. You are responsible for your own fucking shit. And if you want to you can make me sick. You can kill me in a fucking car accident. So it's the same thing. You do the best you can do to do you. That's it.
Well, the biggest issue is that you'd be proselytized by people just by saying that. Now, I agree with you 100% because I'm not a fan of the mask, but I don't give a shit if somebody else wears them. I don't care, but at the same fact, I don't like people trying to regulate me. I think it all stems from a problem with authority for me, mostly because I think everyone realized during the pandemic how much you actually had a say in your own life, which was very difficult to come to grips with. I think we all want to be in control of our own lives, but the fact is there's a government power that'll tell you what is going to happen, how you can live. They can choose to kick you out of the state if they fucking want to. It's kind of like you started realizing you're on borrowed land, but with Captain America's whole Accord thing it's about goalpost moving. It doesn't just stop there. They want to go farther. Somebody, once they get their hand in the cookie jar, wants to keep going. Tim Dillon talked about this on his podcast after doing this clubhouse type things where you're joining sessions. There had been a woman that had developed an app, a dating app for specifically women, and she talked about putting guardrails up on the internet. And they're like, oh my God, that's the biggest fear. And everyone's like, that sounds amazing. But it doesn't just stop with trying to root out all the QAnon shit. It goes deep into if you call somebody fat, if you go, and then that's when the goalpost starts at the QAnon. But then they move it and they keep fucking moving it until you can't even spark an opinion without being banned off any social media platform. And I
Well,
think
yeah,
it's our idea that it's open. It's supposed to be this massive thing that's for everyone. So then it shouldn't be regulated by anybody, but it's a private owned company. So they do have the right. But that just means we need to bring them to community standards. There was a law that Reagan passed a long time ago that he was trying to get processed that we disbanded, which was to make all these giant corporations open community platforms like they're supposed to be disguised as, and actually make them open to where if you say something, you're able to say something because that is your thoughts, that's your perspective, not law and not fact.
sure. And I think there's a funny thing. My friend tagged me in a link on Facebook. True story. That a woman is trying to sue KFC for lack of non-meat options. And the one, and like it was a tweet underneath. It was like a screenshot from Twitter, and a guy was like, "Oh my god, I'm totally on your side. Let me explain my experience. I went into World of Carpet looking to buy a telescope, and these motherfuckers didn't have anything that I was looking for. They did not cater to anything in the telescope or binocular industry. This World of Carpet needs to be stopped." And it's hilarious because that's exactly the truth. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? That's like me going to a gun store and be angry that they don't have any bananas. Like, what are you fucking, what do you have against fruit? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? It like, this is what people are. Again, I deleted like 3 more people. I didn't even mean to. I'm over it. But when I see people post shit on Facebook, you know, like didn't know. Again, when I find out that someone I am cool with, it could be you. If someone I'm cool with starts posting, well, the reason that we're offended by this and that is because we need to. What? You're going to justify why you're offended. The bottom line is it's very simple. We cannot.
I want to bet
We
literally
we.
hold on, episode 703. The
Mhm.
guy bet me that I couldn't pull up anything about people saying something that they don't mean. They just say something without any evidence. I pulled up at least 12 tweets about people calling Pepsi racist. And then he said, if you know something else comes out later, and this was 2 weeks before Coke put out that thing saying how to be less white. They put out an article saying for their company of how to be less white for the people that work at Coca-Cola. Now he's got to come on my show and eat a hat because he was wrong. And he said, I will 100% do it, but he won't. I told him he could replace it with soup because I'm a nice guy. I'm very empathetic. I'm like, I wouldn't want to see you eat a hat. He goes, no, you won the hat bet. You didn't win the clam chowder bet. I was like, well, fucking whatever. So we're setting up a time to do so. But it's this concept of like, people like the world is going to get really, really ridiculous and it's going to keep getting ridiculous, but there'll be a breaking point. And then eventually it's going to be like how comedians are being now, where they're just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. My whole career just got put on hold for a full year. I don't care. Everything's so sensitive now. I'm going to say what I want to say. And that's why Dave Chappelle has gotten away with it for so long. And a lot of people bring up the point, well, isn't it Dave Chappelle can say that because he's a black man? The fucking race should not quarantine or block some types of things that you're able to say. You know, it's going to get to this point where people are just gonna be like, fuck it. And they're like, when I have you on the show and you say something like, this is my homo voice, or this is whatever, you have the right to say so. If somebody
Hey
gets upset,
guys.
then tune it the fuck off. And nobody's
Yeah.
Nobody should be like, I'm going to cancel this guy. Or I'm going to do this. Fuck off with all that shit because it's going to get to a point where people are going to get so fed. I'm tired of talking about cancel culture every damn
See,
episode.
that's what I'm saying. That dude, you feel now, you know what I'm talking about. That's why Eddie Bravo is saying he thinks the earth is round now. Like I'm telling you, you just get to a point. You do. You either get to the point where you're either what's the two end points? You either fucking kill yourself. 3, you kill yourself because you can't fucking take it. You just shut the fuck up, or you start killing other people. You know what I'm saying? Like if you take it to the extreme. So it's just like I get it. If you don't want to be that extreme, what do you got to do? Yeah, you know what? You're right. I don't believe in it. Earth's round. Yep. We done because I'd rather be done than trying to talk to somebody about something that you have not only.
It's like punching a wall. It just keeps on going and going and going. You're not getting anywhere. Maybe after a while you chip it, but and it's still there.
Yeah,
You're gonna be dead before that wall falls down.
exactly. That's why I'm like, I can't talk about that shit anymore, dude. I talk about
So arm wrestling.
dude, I actually hurt my arm the other day. Yeah. I went to
Did you get the vaccine? Is that why your arm hurts?
no, I got dude. And if dude, so uh I went to a year ago, last February.
Hold on, I know why you like Captain America the most because you
Tell
would
me.
probably be the best version of today's Captain America. Only because like you'd be like the real Captain America. It was like I don't give a shit about your cancel culture bullshit. I'm
I
Captain
would say
America,
that.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I'd look pretty good in that thing. The only difference is my cardio is terrible. So if like a bad guy ran away from me, he's gone.
His
That's
cardio
it.
wasn't great in the beginning, but they freaking pumped him with all that
Well, if you
whatever.
gave me that, yeah, the super soldier serum, yeah, I feel like I got the power to take on dudes. If I could just like if I had better cardio, I could run. Oh my god, yeah, I
You
could
could
chase
not get
motherfuckers
hit
down.
by a car and fucking walk it off like it was nothing.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to get hit by a car.
I don't know if I had the powers like he did. I wouldn't mind it probably. I'd be just
Yeah,
running out
probably
into
not.
traffic for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I'd probably get hit by cars all the time just to fucking like fuck
Insurance
with
money.
people. Well, you could do that. Yeah, he could make. There's a lot of ways to make money for Captain America.
You
Like,
want to
hey, I
talk
bet.
about corrupt evil? Let's talk about death tax. That is strange as hell.
Death tax. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
So when you die, you still gotta pay, your family's got to pay the tax for your death.
It's horrible. So I don't want
Yeah,
to hear
they
that
took a
shit.
large portion of my grandmom's money that was left to me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like they
It's
just keep
fucking horrible.
fucking you long after you're dead. It's like Sam Kinnison's joke.
Yeah. No, I know that joke. No, but what I was gonna say is to arm wrestling. So a year ago, last February, I placed second in a Ultimate Arm Wrestling League tournament, and right after that, there's a guy named Derek Smith. He is a like the head guy, coach, captain, whatever you found of a big arm wrestling club out in California in San Bernardino, which is like right outside of Los Angeles. And he contacted me after I won that match. He was like, "Hey man, you were impressive. I have a guy that I want you to go against. You're in a super match." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." We've been arm wrestling about the same amount of time. He's a lot younger than me. But I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And I went into it thinking that he's like the new guy coming up, and they want to see where he's at with me. And we had a best of three arm wrestling match, and he beat me. And I found out later on that he actually placed second at the amateur worlds, and he had a couple other things. Nothing, not making excuses. He's ended up becoming a good friend, and that's what I was going to get the story to. And but we got to train together afterwards and stuff. And and I told him, I said, because I hate. How do you tell the person that just beat you? Well, my arm's been kind of injured. Well, yeah, everyone's gonna say that. If someone, I'm putting myself in that situation where I'm like, maybe it is. I'm like, dude, whatever. Your arm's not fuck. It's injured because I just hurt it because I'm stronger than you. And but a year later, but two things happened. My arm was injured, and losing to that dude made me so damn fucking motivated, man. I was like, I went from training like 5 days, 4 or 5 days a week to 10 sessions a day, or 10 sessions a week, two a day, sometimes 12 sessions a week, 6 times 2. And so I went to they live off of a Marine base between Las Vegas and Los Angeles. It's a little place called Sunny Palms. And so I went out there, me and my buddy Mason, we drove out there, and it was cool, man. It was a really cool drive. We got to drive. Part of the drive was on the original Route 66, which was really cool. And just got to see some shit, man, on the way there, and wildlife and stuff. But anyway, so we drive out to this little fucking desert town in California called Sunny Palms, and we went to their arm wrestling practice. Me and my friend Mason from my team, and so the first person I gripped up with was that dude who beat me a year ago. And he held my hand, and we like, and he was like, "Oh, what the fuck have you been doing, dude?" He goes, I've got nothing for you. And I was telling my buddy, I was telling them, we felt like hot chicks because we were the two new guys with their team, and everyone's like coming up to the table. Oh, I want to feel him. I want to feel him. Like it's like so gay, but that's what we all do. I want to feel your arm. And but I felt like the hot chick. Everyone wanted a piece of me. But they were all like, "Holy shit, what are you guys fucking doing?" And he messaged that guy Derek, who messaged me originally for the match. He's like, "Dude, you need to set him up with one of our best guys, your best guys," because he's like, that dude's not the same dude that arm wrestled me a year ago. And I like to take, I've been training hard. I'm not injured anymore. Well, I am again now. I have a new injury now, but it's a cool thing, you know what I mean, to lose to somebody a year later, come back and just be like leagues ahead of that person.
You're
You
feeling
know,
better, at least from the last time we did an episode. I mean, not the flat Earth one, but the one before that. You're just definitely in a little bit of a better mood, but you still seem like you're kind of like in this state of lull, like you're searching for the next thing. But I think
well,
it's
I
going to be
am, dude.
that
I mean,
arm
because
wrestling thing.
I'm still unemployed. I mean, that's one thing, and hence why I look like fucking rapist Jesus right now. And but
You just
yeah,
defended the Christian community
I am the Christian community.
while he hits his little dabber. There you go. Uh, but it's interesting too, because I mean that's definitely an avenue you can go down. Like a lot of people, like even when like talking to or not talking to, but listening to interviews with Lance Armstrong and everything like that, when he's talking about like he just knew he was set out for it. It was something that he knew he had to do. Like, I mean, this obviously seems like your avenue. I mean, you're built for it, you're putting on the muscle for it, you got the skill for it. I mean, you're involved in the community. You just need to take it to the next step. I mean, a lot of
Mm.
people don't even know what that fucking step is. That's the
Yeah.
scariest thing for a lot of people, and trying to find out what that answer is. But I like pushing, the body to the limits in my mind. I did a 4-hour fucking elliptical thing, and I was just fucking pumping out, watching out freaking whatever Avengers, Civil War, and then I was watching freaking right after that. What did I watch?
You
Guardians of the
said
Galaxy
garlic
2,
out too, yeah.
and then an hour later, I don't consider the correlation, but I was in the emergency room. But then I got out and I was fine.
Why'd you go? Why for what?
I didn't
I
test.
saw that.
I had an intestine thing going, so
What the fuck?
yeah, it happens from time to time. It just flares up. They're like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay. Let's just get out of here," because I spent most of my day in there, and I did it again the next day, and I was fine and go to the emergency room the next time. But man, you just got to push the body to the limit, see how far it can go, and how much your
Well, yeah.
mindset can really take you. I think that's the important factor here. Is I didn't want to do that cardio. People go like, "How do you spend that long in the gym?" The whole fucking time I was like, "Oh my god, I don't want to fucking do this," and I was building it up into my head to be this sick, horrible thing. It was literally making me sick to my stomach even stepping on it. But then when I started the movies going, I started listening to the songs that were playing in the movies and having fun with it. Oh my god, it just flew by like it was fucking
Yeah.
nothing. Got home, made a nice protein shake, and then the events that transpired later weren't the best, but hey.
Yeah, it's funny. I watched a Dana White, the president of the UFC guy. He shared this post Sylvester Stallone put out on his like
I
Instagram.
just watched that this morning.
Did you and Stallone said about, hey, I don't want to go to the gym. Like right now, my motivation is like zero, but I'm gonna go.
90 minutes of your fucking day. And
Yeah,
I'm like, all
90
right.
minutes. You put a time into
Boo.
an investment, And I sound, dude, it's weird. I sound oddly a lot like Stallone,
He's
right? 'Cause I'm
missing some
high.
of his teeth. I saw his
No,
mouth. I was like,
but
he's
I'm saying
missing his
I don't know
side teeth.
because I'm really high and like I have my headphones in and stuff and on this mic. But to me, right now, when I did that, I sounded oddly a lot like, yeah. Anyway, Robbie, absolutely, you need to go of the.
Anything like it.
I may
Before he
not
did
sound
it.
any.
Before it
Before I did, I
sounded
kept
better.
because I was just trying to copy what he said. Like I 90 minutes anyway. But I was watching that and I thought to myself, you know what? I don't relate to that at all. I actually have to keep myself out of the gym. Like, because I know I'm like, fuck, I'm hurting. Like, I'm doing more damage. It's like I'm laying in, like, I'm trying to tan and I'm just keep laying in the sun after I got like 3rd-degree burns. I feel like that's what my muscles and tendons feel like right now.
See, I don't have the overtraining thing to it. Like, I think it's probably a correlation with my no like lack of sleep. I would say, like, to even get an hour of sleep, I have to work out twice. In the past like week or so, I've been off work. I've been doing that. I've been, going to the gym, working out in the morning, and then going back and doing like hours and hours of cardio and stuff like that. And it's how far do you want to push your body? I mean, it depends on how much you love it. I guess my mentality, I guess, from working at the gym has kind of changed. I used to have a passion where you literally couldn't keep me out of it, but also like the podcast too. Man, I would be starting to cut my sessions a little bit short just to do a podcast that I had scheduled. And it was like, new passions are starting to arise. That's coming from a guy that's gone every single day for 9 years,
Yeah.
but it was a sense of like, that was my therapy at one point. This is kind of turning into that. And it's all trying to find a way of like what's getting you to the next day in this world, even when you're sitting at home
Yeah.
unemployed or something like that. I mean, I'm like partial unemployment, I would say, on the fact of like how little days I get. But it's like, man, you're sitting around the house, like, you gotta fucking do something. No wonder you're gonna want to work out twice.
Well, it's not, that's a factor too, I believe, honestly. But I think I'm really I feel every time I work out, for instance, like I said, feeling like the progress I made from like that dude was better than me 1 year ago to this guy is not and it's hard to say that without sounding like a cockbag, you know what I mean? But he said it from, he was like, dude, I had nothing for you. And he said, I'm so inspired by how much you progressed. And that was really cool because I was inspired by him a year ago when he beat me because I'm like, fuck, dude, shit. Yeah, he beat me. And everyone taught him to be the next big thing out here on the West Coast. And for a year later, to be like, okay, yeah, there's levels. Um, and for him to tell me it inspired him, it's cool, you know what I mean? But it's not that yes, part of it is if I get bored or that type of thing, when I'm training or when I'm arm wrestling or whatever at the gym, I'm sure the same thing. I'm not thinking of the things we're talking about earlier, fucking cancel Mr. Potato Head and masks and stuff like that. I'm not thinking about that when I'm doing that. I'm concentrating on my workout. And so for that, there's that, but it's really, man, I feel I'm so fucking motivated with this sport. And when I'm not training, I feel like someone else is. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the key to kind of success in a way too. I mean, is it better to want to be the best and nobody can beat you, or is it better to always strive to that first place spot and keep climbing, knowing that there's someone doing the exact same as you? That's why some people like Michael Phelps, for instance, we talked about it with that one kid from Portugal that ended up passing him. Like
Yeah,
six
yeah.
years
No,
later.
Singapore. He was from Singapore.
Singapore, yeah, well, ended
Yeah.
up passing him later. It's like there's always a hero in somebody's mind, but
Mhm.
that doesn't mean that they're impossible to touch. There's always a grasp that you can be better than them at one point if you train hard enough. And I think that's a lot for a lot of people to hear is like, why wouldn't you want to be the best? I want to be number one and nobody else could touch me. It's the thing with Lance Armstrong. He wanted to be number one. He wanted to be the best. He doesn't want anybody to beat them. That's why he kept training and training and training. His whole life became dedicated to that. Sometimes you need to put in that effort. It's not everybody's going to have the opportunity, I would say, to be able to do something that they love as their job, which is very, very hard to say
Yeah,
after our last talk and everything like that too. But it's like doing
I agree with that.
cycling as a fucking career. That's a hobby for a lot of people, but he turned that into his job, his moneymaker, his thing, because he wanted it. He envisioned that, and he wasn't going to let anybody stop him to do that. It's just so hard because it's a very, very tasking thing to do, to give up
Well, dude,
all.
my screw as it is, a buddy of mine named Alex, a Russian kid from, uh, um, from New York. He's making around 150 grand a month now from arm wrestling from his YouTube because he has like 1.2 million subscribers. They started out. His brother, if you see him in person, you go, oh shit, well, okay, that makes more sense. But his brother, his nickname's Schoolboy, and he's this like just was a normal like, kind of looking kid when he was like 16, 17. He's like 20 now, 21. And when he was like 16, 17, he just looked kind of a normal guy kid, like never touched a weight, glasses, and he'd arm wrestle people in New York, whether Central Park, Union Square, Times Square, and now and and he would beat everybody, and hey, can you beat Schoolboy? And that he just kept putting those videos out. And now he's like 1,000,002 subscribers, making like 150,000 a
Who
month.
the fuck is subscribed to an arm wrestling YouTube channel? Those seem like psychopaths to me. It's like when I see these Mr. Beasts and all these guys that have all this money because of their YouTubes. I'm like, what the fuck who is subscribed? And then I look at my best friend who's fucking subscribed to Danny Duncan or whatever his fucking name is in Florida that does all these. He like lights fire. He just does outrageous, stupid shit a
Okay, yeah.
20-year-old kid will do if he has a lot of money. Takes his car, rams his mom's car, blows it up, picks it up with a crane, throws it all around his lawn, just does dumbass, stupid shit just because he can. And it's just like, I guess, I mean, that's entertaining, but after a while, it's like, what the fuck am I watching? It's like watching a Facebook video at 1 o'clock in the morning. You're not getting in any information from it. It's just null entertainment. It's like when you're scrolling on your phone for 6 hours and not remembering what you were looking at. You're just like, I was just mindlessly scrolling for six
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's a combination when you say huge subscribers, it's a combination of that. And then, parlaying it with his going into real arm wrestling competitions, showing how he trains, stuff like that. Him and his brother in the gym. Either way, but I'm just saying it's who 100 if I made 150,000 a year, if I need $10,000 in a year from arm wrestling, I feel like I'd be the most accomplished arm wrestler. But he's making like 150K plus a month. For editing YouTube videos. It's funny, because I know you saw that one. I put out that one video, which is cool. It's already it's almost up to like 1,600 views. It was like my first real video, but it's got like 1,600 views. I'm up to 70 subscribers. And yeah, I got it. And everyone was like, the good thing was it was cool because I always think first of all, because the video turned out exactly what I pictured, exactly how I pictured it, which was cool to see. And then it was cool to see people respond to it. so well. People laughing at the stupid things that
It
I
was
thought were
funny.
funny.
I
You
liked
know,
it.
the slow motion of the dog at the beginning, like
You
the
found a hand strapped on the ground. It looked like a dildo for a minute, and you're
exactly. Yeah,
like,
it looks like a butt plug, right?
one of the wrestlers was here. I was like, oh Jesus, he's on a hunt. And then you go around this corner, there's a bunch of them talking about like just like gym talk. And I'm like, oh fuck, and I experienced this on the daily.
No, it was just like I said. It was just I made it for if you're not arm wrestler or if you're an arm wrestler, you're just gonna laugh at all the little puns. You know, the chalk on the beer can. You know, saying what if they? My wife's saying, what if they chase after us? And I say it doesn't matter. They don't train cardio. They'll never get more than 8 feet. You know, and
You
I
should
and
do the Oprah interview, but do it with an arm wrestling twist to it, where it's like somebody interviewing you and it's you and your wife sitting on a chair. It's like, it's just so hard. Did you see the Oprah Winfrey video?
I don't know. Is it new? No, if
It's
it's new, I
about
haven't
mental
seen it.
health and all that. How like the royal
No.
family, she was thinking about killing herself, and they had to go to this ball and hold hands and act like everything was fine. But people took pictures of them. You should do that with the arm wrestling thing. It's just so hard when his mind's just stuck on the gym and doing his arm workouts 24/7. It's like it's like do the Ronnie Coleman, do like a spinoff of his documentary where he's like lifting weights. He's like, if he just stops lifting weights, his body will heal. It's just him curling fucking weights. It's like I can't stop. I can't stop.
But I listen. I actually have ideas. So there's more stuff in the works and everything like that. I have some funny things. Yeah. But again, like I said, it was cool to put out that video and have such positive feedback and other people sharing it and subscribe. And the comments were just nothing but fucking positive. Like everyone getting it, you know, and relating to a different thing. The Russian sex toy, it looks like a butt plug. You know, the chalk on the beer can, the little just the dog blinking slowly, you know, me calling Devin the rat a bastard. So and Devin shared it and he loved it, you know, and which I think it got gave me a big chunk of my traffic, you
He's
know.
your hero.
He's not my hero, he's a good guy, he's funny.
I don't know anything about him.
No, he's just like he's an arm wrestler from Canada and former world champion or and why does my mic
You're
just get loud?
friends with a Canadian Captain America?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, he is kind of Captain
Bridging the
America.
gap, you good Samaritan.
Yeah. He's a no, but he's a good guy and he's got a big following on social media, YouTube stuff. So
Have you
yeah,
ever
dude,
thought about switching over to leg wrestling?
shut the fuck up.
No?
I'm gonna fucking squeeze I got my hand gripper here and
As much as you might think that arm wrestling might be ridiculous for some people to understand, imagine you saying, oh, shut the fuck up about leg wrestling. I bet there's a leg wrestler out there like, hey, that's my craft, you son of a bitch.
it could be good for him or her. I
I
don't
would
know.
like to do like pinky wrestling or something that's like doesn't.
Yeah, you have long ass fucking fingers. They're freaky looking.
I got huge hands, you know.
No, but your pinky's retardedly long. Like your pinky and your
It's
ring finger
normal
are like the same
size.
size. No, look at my pinky to my ring finger.
You got fat hands.
Yeah, my hands are fucking yeah. Dude, like I have so much muscles in my thumb. Like if I
Well, I
do
have really long
like
arms, which
that,
makes it
you
difficult to
can see
try and put meat on my biceps.
the thumb muscle right there.
Like my arms are pretty ripped. You've seen pictures.
Yeah.
But
Your
they're
arms
my
are
wingspan from left to right is like 6'4", and I'm
yeah, I
only
know.
5'8". So like I can stand on my hands, or I can like put my legs in my jacket and then I can swing from my hands. And that I think I might have a little bit of ape genetics when it comes to that.
I can see that.
If I do this, you can really see it. Ready?
Mm. Yeah, totally.
Like a
It's like I'm
chimp.
watching Planet of the Apes, but it's like I'm having a Zoom
Careful.
chat.
You don't want to be
Planet of the Apes.
Roseanne Barr.
Wait. I know. I can't remember what she said. She
She
said
said
something.
that woman looked like the lady from Planet of the Apes, not knowing her race, and then people put
I
her up
like
on
it.
a stick.
This is my favorite episode we did so far because anything that I can show off my thumb muscle, I
You
feel
look
like
like
it's.
you just flicked off 3 people in sign language.
Did I? I hope so. Here, I'll flick off everybody for real. Um, yeah, man, dude, I don't know. Like I
Everything I
said,
want to talk about so off topic for you. So I'm like, damn it.
what? I'm not
You were
talking about.
sending me pictures of you sent me a message saying we're only going to strictly talk about my haircut and arm wrestling. Then you start sending me digital deal fucking videos and shit about
Dude,
Amazon
okay.
One with you have
What
to
do you think?
scan
What do you
your.
think about that? What do
I
you think
think
about
it's how
that?
I guessed it fucking 2 years ago. I said
Well, there you
eventually
go.
they start putting technology into you, then everything's going to have to run by technology. Where next thing you know, if you don't have it, you're going to have to be cast out into these separate societies where there's like an Amish society, basically how we're running now, compared to what everybody else in the future. Going to my buddy's house, for instance, as soon as you walk into his house, Google lights on, Google turns the fucking lights on, Google Music, everything is fucking voice activated or some type of sensor or something he could pull off of his phone. Where I'm like, where's your fucking TV remote? Oh, it's right here. He grabs his phone and goes click and then turns it on. I'm like, what the, where's the actual physical remote? He goes, we don't use those here. And I'm like, what? Like, it's just this aspect of like, it's going to get to a point where it's going to evolve so much that eventually they're going to have to branch off into dome societies like the Simpsons, where it's like, if you don't, you can't live in our state if you don't function this way. It's going to be the same thing with masks. If you don't wear, that's why everybody's moving to fucking Texas, and then people are moving out at the same time.
Yeah, well, me and my wife talked about that already, moving to somewhere like Idaho, Arizona, any of the places that would have a if this mask thing continues, like, dude, I don't go out. I cannot go out with this I cannot. Like, I mean, I go to like a grocery store or whatever, and I like put it on for like a second and I take it off. But like, I can't, because I love Vegas and I love like going, taking my wife to the Bellagio, having a drink, some gambling, whatever. I cannot do it. I can't walk into, I call me a baby, a pussy, whatever. I don't give a shit. I just allow me to have my opinion, and I just can't do it. I cannot walk into the Bellagio with like a fucking suit on and a fucking diaper on my face. Like, it's so, and just so I know if I sit down and have a drink, I can take it off. It's so fucking stupid. I can't grasp. I talk about it every morning. I cannot grasp if you think wearing a mask is going to protect you. I can't grasp how stupid you are.
I don't mind that aspect of it. I hate once you have it. Like if I'm working out and I have it off for a second doing something and I walk over to go pick up like a dumbbell or something, someone goes, "You gotta put your mask on when you're walking in between weights." I'm like, you stay the fuck away from me.
Dude, it's the
Like,
stupidest fucking thing.
yeah.
If you know anything about the common cold or any type of virus, viral transmission, anything like that, you know that your eyes are like the most thing to get the virus from, any virus from. Your eyes are the greatest source of transmission. And if anyone talks about the fucking mask, because when you talk, if you know how anything again about viruses and bacteria, and viruses are even smaller than bacteria as far as under like a electron microscope, viruses, there's the mask is like putting a 6-foot box and say you can't walk through that. You and I can just walk right through it. That's what the virus is doing to a mask, both ways. Viruses are so fucking tiny. If you take an electron microscope, put the particles of a mask, a virus, it's like it looks like throwing a basketball through a fucking, or a baseball through a baseball through a basketball hoop. That's what a virus looks like going through the fibers of a mask. Look, again, I
It's like that video you mentioned about the woman that was yelling about the person not wearing a mask, even like it's hurting her health, but she was eating a fucking quarter pounder or drinking a large soda from
yeah,
McDonald's.
yeah.
Come on, the world's funny, man. You got to
I
just
can't.
laugh
I
at
see.
a
This
lot
is
of
what I'm
it.
saying. I can't. I can't. I'm no, I want to go to Las Vegas. I want to just enjoy my life. And I feel like I don't do anything because I'm literally, and if you could argue, oh, it's your fault. You can just go out. No, I can't. How about that? No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. How
Just
about that?
move to Joshua Tree and do a bunch of drugs like all the people out there, like Burning Man.
you
Nobody's
want to
wearing
you want to
masks.
hear a funny story? Speaking of drugs, so the when I said I drove out to this naval like marine base in California,
You just told me
the
you were going to California. I didn't know it was a Marine base, but now I'm thinking you're doing PCP.
no, it wasn't. I actually didn't go onto the base. It was that's the biggest thing out there is the Marine base. But the arm wrestling practice was in a little supplement store. And so I just see a guy sitting behind the counter, and I assume that guy is the owner. You know what I mean? Just because it's such a small little town. Small, and I walked up to him and I said, "Hey man, I just want to say thank you for having us and allowing us to practice here. Thanks for having us." And he's like, "Oh man, I just work here, man." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he goes, "Yeah, dude, what do you do out in Vegas?" He's like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Vegas." He's like, "Oh, dude, I swear to God, man, Robbie, I thought I was in a fucking movie." And he goes, "What do you do out there?" And I'm like, "I just arm wrestle. I'm like kind of an unemployed arm wrestler." He's like, "Word. Yeah, I just got off probation." And I was like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Yeah, got out of prison, was on probe for a while. Yeah, but I'm cool now. And I was like, for what? He's like, cocaine. And I go, oh. And I go, are you like off it now? He's like, oh, no, no, no. I just get caught a lot less. And I'm like, I get that. And he's like, so wait, what did you say you do for work? I'm like, I don't, man. I was working at a customer service job. I quit that. He's like, yeah, fuck that, man. I'm like, so I was like, I was just so depressing, man. So yeah, I'm looking for work. But he's like, dude, have you tried shrooms? Or he's like, because he considered shrooms. And I was like, what do you mean, like selling shrooms? He's like, no, 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 just consider taking them. You'll probably feel better. I go,
So
dude,
simple.
it was so fucking. I go, I never thought that.
As much as you're so clear on the flat earth thing, that was his mind with taking mushrooms. He was like, bro, it's
Dude,
just the fucking answer
but
is
here,
right in front of you.
yeah, I not something I would normally do, but I fucking can. He was he
Did
sold
you
me. I'm
take
like,
them?
oh. No, he didn't give offer
No.
me any. If I wouldn't have a 4 hour drive home, I probably would have taken him.
I'm about to say, because I had that same experience at a Walmart when I was buying Nike or Dayquil. I was buying, I think, a Dayquil, and it said it needed you can't buy more than two. And I was like, why the fuck can I not buy more than two? And a woman comes up to me and she scans her ID and she's like, oh, it's because you can make meth out of this stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah, you can make meth out of
that I
NyQuil
was
and
like, that
yeah,
makes sense. I was like, I never knew that. And she goes, yeah, I used to do it all the time before I got a job here. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
yeah.
Like, and you just realize, I think everything's becoming more of like a movie thing now, like with movie lines and quotes and scenes, is because we've been locked down for so long. People forgot how to act.
Yeah.
Like people forgot how to talk to each other to this point. Like they're just pulling lines from a fucking movie. Everything is a movie scenario now.
Dude, I felt like I was in a fucking movie talking to this guy, dude. I was like, it felt like they were like, I'm like, is there a script? They're like, no, 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 just like banter. He's just gonna play the part of the super stoned like guy out in the middle who works at a shit job out in the middle of nowhere. You just interact with him and go ahead, scene. And he's just like, hey, bro, you want to hit? And he was like, he offered me his pen and he's like, wedding cake. And I was like, yeah, it's like, and he's like, cool, man. What do you do in Vegas? Like I said, have you considered shrooms? What, selling them? No, man, just taking them. You'd feel better.
Just taking them. It'd be a lot better, but it's so clear to him too. I love the mindset of that someone could be like, it's so obvious. It's right in front of you. Just take a bunch of LSD. You're like, oh,
Yeah, that's
didn't
all.
realize that was the answer, but I might try that because you don't know if that could be the answer to you.
Dude, I guarantee shroomed up Jason probably wouldn't give a fuck about masks so much. I mean, like, I'm pretty willing to bet on that. Really, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that everyone in their mind has some certain item or some certain thing that hits their ultimate frequency that brings them above the normal, that just turns them into this. I've been talking a lot about, I think that there's going to be like, as much as we're putting enhancements into our own body to progress our evolution, I feel like naturally there's going to be another evolution stage for mankind where it might be 1,000 years down the line, but it's going to progress us to where you'll probably see psychic abilities more often than they're all involved now. You know, we're probably going to have a different connection. I'm not talking about like throwing metal through walls like X-Men, but I'm talking about like a guy being able to crush a can with his mind. And then next thing you know, it just evolves couple hundred years later. It just makes sense to me. I'm like, I feel like we're forcing evolution with trying to put technology into your head. You know, they're talking about with the Neuralink that you'll be able to communicate with somebody with your thoughts. Just the Neuralink will allow you to link up to someone else's Neuralink network and be able to talk to them on like a private
Oh,
line
that's
without
like, yeah,
saying
that's like they
words.
did that in Demolition Man when Stallone and Sandra Bullock have sex, like virtual, like they put these helmets on, and then that's how they have sex. They sit across the room from each other.
If they can make it feel just like actual sex and they make it as real as actual sex, would you still want to do that? Or would you still be able to brag that you had sex with Jennifer Aniston if she wasn't physically on top of you?
I have had sex with Jennifer Aniston, and I can crush a
Shut
can
your fucking
with.
mouth.
I'm kidding.
That is my number one dream girl right next to Mariah Carey.
Really? You know, it's funny.
What do you mean, really?
Both of those women are funny to me because my ex, everyone told her she looked like Mariah Carey, and everyone tells Sarah she looks like Jennifer Aniston. So that's really funny you say that.
About to say, if your third one's like Kate Upton, we're gonna have an issue.
I don't even know who that fucking is. It's definitely not
Just,
her.
just Google her later in your free time when no one's around, and you'll thank me later.
Tate Upton.
Kate Upton.
Kate Upton. I'm not
She was
looking
on
right
the
now.
cover of Sports Illustrated. I just want to watch your reaction when you Google her. Ready? Everyone, I'm watching Jason. His face is like how you would it be if you're Googling a certain device. First, he's checking his messages, making
I'm
sure.
not. I'm not. I'm literally not.
And he Googles Kate Upton.
Kate?
Probably hard to type with those fat fingers, huh?
It is, to be honest. My hands cramp up. Oh shit, yeah, she's hot. That's big ass fucking titties.
I really hope your wife or mom doesn't listen to this one.
Why? They know what big ass titties are, and she has them.
So that would be my third. So if I was gonna fuck, marry, or kill, um, I don't know. That'd be a very tough decision because I don't think I could kill somebody, and I definitely couldn't kill. Maybe I'd have to add like, who do I not like as a Sandra Bullock? I would kill her.
That hurts. That game always made me laugh. I put way too much stock in that game. If I heard girls talking about me in that game, most of the time I was either the fuck or the marry guy. It's very rare the kill guy, so that's kind of cool. Um, so I guess that's probably my biggest accomplishment. I think if I that now that I think about that, if you ask me what like what I put on a resume, I would put like what's your biggest attribute in life? I'd be like, the game fuck, marry, or kill. I'm rarely the kill guy.
I mean, I guess that's a win. Are you the marry guy or are you the guy they want to fuck? Because that
Well,
just debates your life. Because if
no,
you're
but
the
I'm
guy
just
that's
saying.
financially
Oh no, no, no.
stable,
I mean, I feel like it's both. It was like a combination of both. Like people would be like, there's like, I'd marry Jason because he'd make me laugh all the time, and like he'd make me work out with him and shit. So that's kind of cool, or things like that. But or I fuck him because he's hot, but I marry that guy because he's got a job. I'm like, well, at least. But I'm just saying, I think that's a big accomplishment to be like, I'm rarely the kill guy.
it's definitely something I put on my resume. I'd probably put that under the Power Ranger thing because I'm pretty sure, like, if you really want $150,000, I will
Yeah,
give you $150,000 just to put on the fucking suit and make me a calendar of all 12 months.
yeah, that I would do that if you had the suit. Dude, I'm looking at, dude, I can't tell because of the lighting or whatever. I'm like, I look so fucking. The last time I was on here, I was like, dude, I was bragging. I lost like 20 some pounds or whatever it was.
You
Now I
look
feel
like
like I
you
just
accepted
gained it.
that dude's offer of fucking selling shrooms.
I'm really high, but no, I'm saying I look like fucking fat as shit. I was like hoping it was the angle, but it's my fat face right now.
I think it's because you're wearing a hat and it's covering up the light to your face, so it's embracing the shadow.
No, look,
Now
look
your
how
hair just, yeah, it got worse.
I'm,
Put the hat back on.
I'm just fat. It's
Are
just
you
fat.
taking creatine?
No, I'm eating fucking dude. I like it on like a fucking bender the last week and a half. Like okay, so as soon as I start going to myself, I'm gonna eat. I'll go through things, like where I'm gonna eat, like lift weights, do my fasting, what I normally do, and I lost weight pretty quickly last time. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna eat. I never eat, especially like in the morning. So I'll train and then eat, or eat and then train, eat, train, eat, and then eat. Throughout the day and just eat it a lot, like fucking and but as soon as I start doing that, it just opens the fucking floodgates to getting like triple at McDonald's with 6 pieces on the side and
That's so
shit.
different because I hadn't like I guess it's probably from not going to the bathroom for a while, but like when I went to the emergency room, they weighed me, I was 148 and I'm naturally like 130, 135. And then today I weighed myself, I was 136 after going to the bathroom. Like
Dude,
they
you're so
came
light.
back with an x-ray and they were like, I've never seen this much before, like stuck inside of your intestine. Like this is bad. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I think it might be because nothing mechanically is wrong, but they're thinking it's neurogenic. And I don't know how to fix that. I don't know if that's stress levels. I don't know what that is. And they're like, has anything happened recently in your life? I'm like, yeah, a lot. And they're like, you
Yeah,
don't seem stressed. And I'm like, well, my hair's been going white, but I haven't really been like, I don't feel stressed. I think it's like deep inside of me, like something's locked in my vault of, I like to push things deep down because I don't see an issue of doing that. But apparently it's
yeah.
not good for you.
I don't know. You fucking
26,
nuts.
baby. That's all I'm living to. 26.
That's don't say that. That might be true though. I don't think anyone's gonna make it past 3 more years. So
What's going to
then
happen in 3 years, Jason? Apocalypse?
dude, I can't tell you. Apocalypse, I think in 6 years.
6?
Maybe 10 years.
Okay.
That's what I think.
What's happening in 3 then?
Dude, I can't tell you. I gotta pee again.
Do you want me to pause it?
Yeah, let's go. Pause.
Okay.
All right.
So we're
Dude,
back from look, we always have an intermission. There's always a spot like where you go, hey, can I pee? And I'm like, okay, sure.
you do have to pee too. Wait, my mic sounds all fucked up now.
Did you hit it too hard on the table? Did you break it already? Your nice brand new microphone that you like to hold like it's like
Um, no, if it sounds okay now, I think.
yeah, it
I don't
sounds
know.
good. I like it.
We do have a pee because we always have a pee break.
Yeah, because we always go longer than an hour. Our last one went for 3 hours. I'm surprised. Why do you not want that to go up? Can we just post it so then
If
this
you
one can
want,
go
dude,
right after?
if you want,
I
but
just want to make
I
sure you're
hate it.
comfortable with it.
I'm
I
not comfortable
love
with
it.
anything. I
Okay,
hate
fine.
it.
I'll delete it forever.
Did you watch any of it? Because
I
I feel like
did.
it's
I
just
couldn't
ran.
stop
It's just
laughing.
I feel like it's not. I bet you it's probably nonstop retardedness. I probably hate myself.
If you add up all the minutes I talked in that, it's probably a total of 30 minutes. And then it's just 2.5 hours of me just like with my face, like looking like somebody just blew open my brain.
It's all true. It's all I can tell you. It's all fucking
Go to
true.
some advice from your dad. Like, what was this wonderful advice he used to give you all the time? Like, you told me Chuck Norris killed Bruce Lee. We talked
That was
about
a big one.
superstitions. I'm starting to believe in them a little bit more than I used to. Like, I'm starting to think that there's a lot that goes deeper down with like superstitions and stuff like that. Because, like, I talked to a Greek PhD or a Greek PhD expert who studies all about Greek history. And I was looking through a lot of old Greek legends to kind of study and trying to expand my knowledge on. I got interested, so I reached out to her to get some topics about it. There's a story about her. Gone blank on the name again. Um, Hermaphroditus or something like that. And it was about a guy that was the son of Hermes and the son of Aphrodite. And he was supposed to be one of the most beautiful people of that time period. Like, I mean, just handsome Brad Pitt of the ages. Fucking was swimming in a lake and a nymph jumped in the lake and started kissing on him and grabbing on him. And he tried to push her off. Then she wished to the gods to make them bonded forever. And he became half man, half woman. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, is that predicting the future of like people wanting to switch their genders today? I mean, it's a kind of a stigmatized question, but like superstitions in general, those folklores and legends are all riddled with a little bit of something that people still believe in today. Whether it's religion today, instead of believing in multiple gods, you're believing in just one. But superstitions, that's like the closest I would say for someone who's not a believer in religion is a superstition, trying to find a way of some magical force or magical power that if you do something, it fucking affects something.
Right. Here's the thing. I like to believe in that shit. I don't, but
I
I
do
like
too.
to believe. I like to believe. I think it's fun. And here's the thing, dude,
An
especially
airplane
again,
will not crash if there is a baby on the airplane because God could not take away an innocent life like that.
I don't know
That's
about
how my superstition works.
well, that's good. I wasn't even thinking along those lines. I was thinking about how much when I fucking smoke and at night I put on fucking Tubi and watch all the different type of finding Bigfoots. The Bigfoot's an alien, hitting Bigfoot, the Bigfoot code, Bigfoot. Dude, I think it's fucking hilarious, dude. I love it. And it's always like the dumbass motherfuckers that are all like, yeah, man, Sasquatch, them Sasquatch, they out
Yeah, they
there.
never get a
Like
good smart
they never
person
get like a
name, but
guy that or like it's like a dude, this guy, and it says under the bottom, dude. Like I can do that for you right now. I could put under your name, Out of Blake Podcast. It says Robert Robertson, fucking PhD, and in astronuclear physics. Who's gonna fucking look? You think that someone's gonna be like, oh, I don't believe that. So you just put underneath like, this guy, and then he's like scientific. It's some always bullshit name, like, like astro, like things that you don't even like astro undercoverologist. And you're like, wait, what the? But he's like a doctor of that. And the guy is like, yes, Bigfoot is real. And I've been saying it for years. And I'm like, dude, no one believes fucking shit you say, dude.
that's what you questioned first. What I questioned first was a buddy of mine who does a Bigfoot podcast. His name Benjamin Bowman. He does Big Ben podcast, does also a Bigfoot podcast. He's known as the Angry Dad. He sent me a video like I was watching in the emergency room. It was fucking 2018 of sighting of a Bigfoot in Oregon. And it was such shitty camera quality. I'm like,
That's
we have fucking brand new iPhones and you're still got this crappily done video of like Bigfoot. Like you can't really see it if whatever it is, it's dark as shit out. It's like you can't even get a good moon
dude. I have
picture on your
videos of
fucking
me in
phone.
2018 in a fucking nightclub taking a shit on the dance floor. You can see it perfectly. It's me in a nightclub taking a shit on the dance floor.
I want to see those videos. What
No,
happened
I'm
that
just
night?
saying though that video exists. I actually don't have that, but I'm saying like what I'm saying. But yet with it,
Why
aliens
did you
and
take a shit on the
I
dance
actually
floor?
didn't. No, I'm just saying that was the first thing
Oh.
that came into my brain. But what I'm saying is it's like again, we have the most, we can film 8 fucking K on our on our phone, 60 frames a second. And you'll see a video. This was a 2019 sighting of a UFO. And it's the shakiest, fucking blurriest shit in the world.
It
And I'm
does it
like,
such a disservice trying to find the truth to it
but
all.
yeah, like I can zoom in on the fucking pussy lips of Jennifer Aniston in 2015.
What fucking
Come
video
on.
is that?
I'm just, it's out there.
I love it how like people bought the Xbox because like we can play the games in 4K. And I'm like, you're fucking the games you're playing aren't even at 4K yet. The system is, but not the games.
Yeah.
It's
But now,
all just about like when you see a buy one, get one sticker, you immediately lose your shit because you're thinking you're getting it for a cheaper price. You're getting two for the price of one when really they just up the price of one to two.
yeah, or you're still not even paying near cost, what it actually cost. Well, I don't know if I told you this or not. When I had that Christmas sale, working for the company I worked for, the I bought Sarah a pair of earrings, and the price was $490. I paid $10. And that motherfucker still made profit on that. So how much are they upselling that shit?
I remember you mentioned to me this last episode that we never released because you went from that story to this story. If I get it correctly, you had ordered supplements like a Valentine's special or something like that. And the supplements never came, or they shipped it and something happened and it didn't get to you. So they sent it to you for free and they
Oh yeah, yeah,
refunded
yeah,
you the
yeah.
thing. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I listen when you talk.
I know you do. Um, yeah. But how crazy is that though? $490, $10. That's what I paid for.
Did you like bang them on the counter to see if they're real or not?
No, so I mean everything's into real. I mean, I'm just saying, like the trench coats that cost $3,000, $3,000 for retail, we can buy them for $180.
I don't like jewelry because I don't like what we value. We rather value something that like why is a diamond worth more than
Yeah,
like a ruby or a lapis when a lapis is better for like looks. It looks prettier,
well, diamonds are again manufactured. It's not like gold. Gold's an element. Diamonds are actually created. Like you can make as many diamonds as you want.
but gold is heavy as shit.
I'm just saying though, but no, I agree. Like there's like the diamond is the symbol for marriage and all that stuff like that, and it's like it's not even a real stone technically. You know what I mean?
Marriage is fake too. I don't believe in that as much as a lot of people do.
Yeah. Well, I would have agreed with you until I met my wife. So
I
I
think a
100% would agree
contract with
with
the
you.
state is a little bit stupid. I feel like if you love the person, why do you have to put your thing in writing for it to be
Oh,
true?
I agree with that part. Yeah. I agree with that part. But I'm for whatever it is, to me, it's not that. To me, it was more of a declaration that this person and me have, what I'm saying? It's more like that.
Then why do guys get fucked on the wedding ring? We get like a base, like a lot of people do these rubber rings now, or they do
That's what
something
I
as
wear.
silicone. Yeah,
Yeah.
where's the gold ring that if you get them a ring, why don't we get a nice like can I get a
I
skull on
got
it?
I got a ring for I mean my I didn't get it, yeah, but yeah, I just don't wear it honestly. The biggest reason I don't wear it, none of my fucking rings fit because my fucking hands are so fucking thick from.
You can wear it
And
around your neck on a necklace.
yeah, but I can't wear
I
necklaces.
hope she listens to this to her. She's like, yeah, that's right. You can do that. Stop
Nah,
giving me
she's
that
not. Again,
excuse.
I wouldn't be married if she was like that. She's not like that at all. That's
Well,
what's so
you're
cool.
also married to probably, I would say, your best friend, someone that you can,
100%.
which a lot of people don't have. It's hard to find that person they can live in a house with without somebody reaching for a butter knife after like a week.
Well, it's hard to be like that even with two guy friends. You know what I mean? Like how many? Like I don't know if you ever had because you're young still. So, but it still might happen where you're like, it's your best friend in high school or whatever. Then they come and stay over your house for the weekend. You're like, I can't wait to get rid of this motherfucker. Or I know what happened with me. I moved in when I first got my first apartment. I moved in with like my best friend. Within like 6 months, like we weren't even speaking. Like he moved out, and we weren't even talking.
Yeah,
So
because I feel like it's a lot to put on a relationship to live with them 24/7. That's why it's even difficult with your family. That's why kids want to move out at the age of 18
absolutely.
so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's so cool that I'm like I'm with my wife every day, and I never get tired of her. I never need a break. Like I went to that arm wrestling practice. That was like the longest I've been away from her in like 2 years. You know what I mean? Being just gone for the whole day. From morning till the like midnight. And but again, I'm like I miss her when I'm not there.
That's sweet.
It's true. She's my best friend. Why would I not? She's like my favorite person in the whole world.
That's what you
Yeah.
want in life.
Yeah.
You can't be alone entirely, and you can't live with someone entirely. You have to have your breaks.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We don't even like it's like, she even when even when she wasn't working, we both weren't working. We were home all the time. Even my mom was like, don't you two get sick of each other? And we're like, no, we don't. Like, no, I don't at all.
I would be me and Jennifer Aniston if she would just give me a shot.
See, maybe it would be, but I've never had anything like that before. I was always like, dude, I need my fucking guy weekend. I need the boys' night. 4 days of the 7. Um, but I don't feel like that way at all.
Because she joins you on those extravagant events.
Yeah, she'll come out with us too. But again, most of the time when we're in a group environment, she does her thing and I do mine. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a place we don't know, then obviously we're together. But like it's like when we do it go to these arm wrestling practice or tournaments, she does her thing. I network, she networks, whatever you want to call it. Some people, oh, you flirting. Really? I'm flirting with you right now then.
Thank you.
I mean, I am, you know what I mean? But
check that off the bucket list. Be flirted with by a Power Ranger. Gonna
but you were talking about like stuff with my dad, man. It's so funny, because you have these when you lose your parents, my dad passed away in 2004. Like it's weird. Like I can't remember what my dad's voice sounded like.
fuck. I just posted that on the episode today that I played a voicemail for my grandma and I almost had
Mhm.
I had like a bunch of people message me saying they almost cried. And I'm like, yeah, it was a very personal thing, but that was my biggest fear was that I would forget what your laugh's like. I would forget this. I would forget that. But I'm so happy I have that fucking voicemail.
Yeah, I mean, I could go back and watch like a VHS tape, and stuff like but I don't. Like I don't remember. You know what I mean? It's weird. Um, and there's a lot of stuff, growing up. I'm not going to get into that, but but with the thing I always remember my dad is just funny stories, just like funny things like that. I always talked to, I would, people love this when I talk about my dad, like, or bring it up with my friends who know my dad for a long time, or, remember my dad. And, one of the things, like, he was always a real, like, confident guy, like walked into the room, everyone liked him, always is, like Italian guy, like, but not like skinny Italian, just Italian, but he kind of looked that way.
We talked about this in the second episode.
Yeah, but not like that. Like, hey, you know what I mean? But he always had cologne on, always had his jewelry on, always really like nice guy. His biggest weakness though, man, was when he would take me and my sister and my friend when we were young, and we would go to like a McDonald's, Burger King drive-through, and he would pull up, and me and my sister always wanted plain cheeseburgers, like a cheeseburger with just cheese only, only cheese. I didn't want fucking mustard or pickles or shit. I just wanted a plain cheeseburger, a burger with only cheese.
They always fuck it up.
Large fry and a Coke, right? That's what I want. It's just I want a burger, only cheese, large fry and a Coke. My dad would, like, my sister were like, what do you want? Same thing. We just want the same thing. Just make it easy. And he'd drive up to the window and you'd hear the, 16-year-old fucking, kid from McDonald's like, welcome to McDonald's. Go ahead. Whenever you're ready, sir. And my dad would this is what he would say. Welcome to McDonald's. Whenever you're ready, sir. Yeah. It's clear, sir. Um, uh, uh, can I get a plain cheese, large cheese Coke, and some fries? And the guy's like, can you repeat your orders, sir? Plain cheese, large. And I'm like, that plain cheeseburger, a cheeseburger, large fries, and a Coke. So you just want a cheeseburger? Yes, but no, plain Coke, plain cheese. And he would freak out, and then, like, me and my sister would be like, no, they're gonna spit in our food. No. And he would then just drive over the media and literally like drive by the fucking 16-year-old kid, like, and then leave, what I mean? Like drive off, and the kid would be like, what the fuck did I do? And we would literally go to another place and I'd get like a fucking chicken sandwich or something because we'd get the Burger King was right across the street.
That's like when I was with my grandpa and I was like, can you get me a caramel frappe? And he goes to the thing and like, hello, sir, what would you like to order? And he just goes, can I get that caramel frappe? I'm like, they're going to shit in my fucking drink.
Yeah, 100%. And they're going to shit. I never fuck with food people. That, and then the other big memory I have of my dad was when my, of course, like the, mother-in-law, son-in-law kind of thing. So my mom's parents did not like my dad, apparently, because he was Italian. And
Whoa.
yeah, and so they just didn't like him. And so my grandpa, my mom's dad, he was a big fat fucking slob. And like just lazy, would piss himself all the time, and would just say, just because he didn't want to get up to go to the toilet, so he'd piss himself. And he would tell me like fucked up shit. Like that's probably why I'm so fucking, my sense of humor is all fucked up. I think the earth's flat. But but so I so this is a fucking true story, Robbie. I swear to you, this is my life growing up. I'm going to share some personal ass shit with you. My grandpap would come to our place, and they would always come unannounced, right? And my dad would have like put out, because he always felt my grandpa's, my dad was super clean, and like as I always said, like always has jewelry, and his fucking car was always super wax and everything. Like mom's dad's slob. And so he would always smell like shit, right? My great fucking her dad, like just smell like shit. So he would come and he would sit in my dad's favorite chair, because it was my dad's favorite chair. Who wanted to sit into it? He would want to sit into it. So he'd sit in this chair, and he'd sit there, and he'd get up and he'd leave and whatever. And my dad would always walk up to the chair and literally, like, if this is the chair, put his fucking nose in the chair. And he's like, oh, the chair smells like shit because you're fucking dad, to my mom. And he would smell the shit. And he'd smell the chair, the cushion, like, the cushion you pick up out of the chair. And he'd go, God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. Jason, come here.
It's
come
like,
here. And he would go, Jason, come here. Smell this. I'm like, no, Dad. He's like, smell this. Smell. And I'm like, no, tell me what this smells like. And he goes, God damn it. And my mom wouldn't get mad that he's smelling a shit covered chair. My mom would say, Andrew, you're taking the name's Lord in vain. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm saying Gad. And so I said, what is God up in heaven? Like sitting there going, God damn it. Wait, that's my name. And wait a second. No, he's saying Gad. We're cool. Carry on. He's saying Gad. I'm done. I got to go to bed. I'm fucking hot.
oh my God, hold on. It's like I always talk about it. It's like your hand smells like shit, but you keep fucking smelling it.
God damn it. God damn. Jason, come here. Smell this. God damn. Jason, smell. I'm like, yeah. I go like that. So I'm like, yeah, that smells like shit. That's what I said. So no, let me give you there's more to this.
I haven't laughed that hard in like 200 something episodes, man. That's fucking good. Funny shit. Dude, that hurt my side. Like my kidney was hurting.
Well, dude, this is what's so fucked up. There's more to this fucking story. So my dad then started knowing that, every time Pappy, that's what we all call him, the Pappy, is going to come over, what fucking chair is he going to sit in? Same fucking chair. So my dad started putting towels under, like, it was like a little tub chair, like a I don't know, I don't know if you know what a tub chair is, but a little tub chair with a like a white doily on it, and that's my grandpa's ass would go from through the doily, through the fucking into the fucking cushion. So my dad started putting towels down, right? So he see him coming, he's like, Jason, get the fucking towels. So we put the fucking, so it's now he's sitting there, so under the doily there's like two fucking like two towels, and so my dad, I see you, Pap, see you. My dad would take off the doily, take off the two towels, smell the cushion. God damn it, Jason, come here. God damn it, what you smell like? And so my fucking Pap's ass went through fucking a doily and two towels into a fucking cushion, right?
Does he ever wipe? Ever?
Dude, it got to the point. It got to the fucking point that he was coming over and he was like, sit down on his chair. He'd sit down. This is why I'm holding the mic. It's me. And he'd sit down on the chair and he'd be like, God. And then he'd say, God damn it, what the fuck? And his feet would be like this far off the fucking ground. That's how much shit my dad has stacked. So his ass don't get. Then he'd take that whole dude, literally, like he's getting off the chair like this, like stepping down. And still, you take off the chair, all that fucking cushion, fucking 6 layers of towels. Pappy's fucking feet are shitting off the fucking floor. He went.
Like people put plastic on their furniture.
Oh, and that's where it finally ended up. My dad when he came over, my dad put the fucking whole seat cushion in a hefty bag.
God, dude. That's what you don't want to be, is be the guy at the party that smells like dog shit.
Yeah. You never want to be that guy.
That was too. God damn! It's just smelling your hand.
God damn, yeah. Everyone knows they've dug in their ass before and smell it, and you just keep fucking smelling it. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm smelling shit.
It's like it? When Farva asked, "Does this look like spit to you?" It's like, does it smell like shit to you?
There's a great line in the Scary Movie, when he was just like, what's it? He's like, hey, what's that smell? That's this. What's that smell? Hey, what's this smell? Oh shit, it's my ass. Like, oh, because he hooked up with a girl. That's what he's like. He's like, what's this tell you, huh, dude? And he puts his nose up. He's like, oh, he
smells like shit.
Yeah, and he's like, "What does that smell?" And he's like, "Here, how about?" He's like, "Look what I did. What do you think I did last night?"
Oh, Doofy,
dude.
Yeah, Doofy.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck smells like shit? Yeah, it's my ass.
Oh my god.
But everyone's done that. Sucks.
Yeah, I don't know why people try and there's this whole mentality like, I don't really trust you if you don't talk about your poop. Like it's so normalized to me where I'm like, I've experienced not going for I think a max of 86 days where I was like, bro, like it's just so involved where I'm like, I don't trust you. It's like saying you don't jack off, you don't watch porn, you don't do anything for release. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, I do all three. I shit myself while I'm watching porn.
There was a video
and
of that,
smell it.
That
and
girl
smell whatever comes out.
Somebody was interviewing her and they're like, so how do you get aroused or how do you do this? She's like, well, I'm asexual. And they're like, what does asexual mean? She goes, well, I only have sex for my husband when he needs it, but I don't ever need to have sex. And I'm like, yeah, but you have those arousal moments. Like that doesn't just go away. Like, I mean, you can not touch yourself for a couple of years, but at the same time, it's this aspect of it's got to come out somewhere. In your fucking dream, it'll come out.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't fuck, man. That's deep as fuck. I don't know about that. All I know is I'm guilty of smelling shit, dude. I saw this shit talk. It reminds me. Well, even again, me and my wife. You say we're best friends. We talk about everything. Like I woke up this morning and I had some pre-workout and right before, and I was like, told him Sarah, I'm like, that's why I don't take pre-workout. I'm like, and especially because we ate a bunch of shit the last few days, just a weekend of binge eating dog shit. I was just like, I literally shit out every form of shit this morning. It's looked like it would to you. I was probably just sit there and bullshitting on my phone. But in reality, I shat every type of shit started off with constipation to some diarrhea to, just every, if it was a poop chart, I hit them all, every, a fucking, the periodic table of shit. I shit them all.
I dropped 8 pounds from one. So you're talking to a guy, your story is pale in comparison to what I can understand.
I can understand that because I guarantee you I've shit 3 to 4 pounds before. And I told my wife that thinking, and then she goes, yep. It's also her response. So she goes, same. That's what she said.
That's how you know she's the girl.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, same.
That sounds like the perfect woman. Anybody that could be comfortable with that.
Dude, dude, she got us a early wedding anniversary present. Dude, she bought us a brand new.
Day?
No, I wish, but she bought us close. She brought us a brand new arm wrestling table, dude. It's so good.
How is a fucking bidet close to an arm wrestling table?
You might be
doing it wrong if you're
no. I mean, close to on my wish list,
okay.
Things I'd like to have. That's what I'm saying. That'd be up there.
Is that better than a ping pong table?
I think so. I don't play ping pong, so it's a big deal to me.
I don't really arm wrestle, so I mean, I'm new to the world.
Dude, we got a really, really nice table. It's gonna look so nice. Gonna just for his and hers table.
I only talked to one arm wrestler besides you throughout my podcast, and
I can't believe there's that many.
Well, yeah, she was my 10th episode. Her name's Dawn. The person I worked with at the hotel. She's very, very small, probably a total of 90 pounds. Mm-hmm. But she used to be a professional women's champion arm wrestler. And she used to tell me all the times about she used to train, one-handed and stuff and work out certain parts of her body. She had a certain regimen and stuff like that. But I was working at a hotel with her, and she just popped that out like it was nothing. It was just so mind-blowing to me because, like I said to you, it's a fucking job. You ask a kid what they want to do, and they say, I want to be an astronaut or something. And next thing you know, they're like, I want to be a professional arm wrestler. You're like, oh, shit.
This is another reason I don't take pre-workout, dude. I like I said, I was at the gym before we got on, and dude, I don't take pre-workout anymore because I just take caffeine. I don't take anything with the NO, the nitric oxide, or the pumps, or
See,
the
I took 4 scoops of that and mixed it with a bang. I never feel the effects of it in my head, but my body reacts to it. So like my body, for instance, my veins and my arm or
yeah,
whatever, they popped out. Like they went from like this to like all the way the full
yeah,
length of the
right.
wrist.
And so the reason I don't take pre-workout is normally the only time I ever take it is when I want to try to recover because I'm trying to get more blood into my arms. Because when you're arm wrestling, you never want to take a pre-workout or anything like that. Anything with
Because
the
it's
NO
harder to
shit.
close your hands.
Yeah, it gets so yes, exactly. And so you get so pumped up that like again, I at that practice I went to last week, I not only could I that was as much as I could close my hand like this, that's as much as I could like that's my wrist bending normally. I could bend my wrist that much. That was it. That's how pumped I could bend my wrist about this much and that much. But that's how pumped my arms were from just all the sparring.
You know where I
Um,
learned that from?
no.
You.
Oh really?
Because I actually listen when you
I
talk. See,
hate
you
when you
don't
say
listen
that.
to me. You just fucking
That's not true. I can fucking tell you
you
everything you
use
said
me
since
like
I
a
first
side hoe.
since every first of every episode we ever done. I can tell you every conversation we had.
What's my middle name?
I don't know that. Did you tell me that?
Yes.
Wait, if I have it, it'll be in my head. I can access it. Just give me
If
a
you
second.
can guess the letter, I'll be surprised. When's my birthday?
I don't know.
You sick son of a bitch. We're Facebook friends. You should get an alert on your phone like I do to make sure you
Yeah.
message people.
Well, I would. That's how I know Wait, that's how I know anybody's
Today's my
birthdays.
birthday. Thank you.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it really? I didn't get an alert.
You were my birthday gift is to be able to talk with a Power Ranger on my
Why the
birthday.
fuck? Is it really your birthday?
It is.
Dude, I'll show you. I can even show you my phone right now. It says
I sent
J-
you a Christmas card that never
James.
arrived because I guess I forgot to put the apartment
No,
number.
yeah, it doesn't say you. It just says James Wells and my buddy Melvin from
Was
Arm
I
Wrestling.
one of the people you deleted off of Facebook?
No,
That's a
definitely not.
segue to the beginning of this conversation. I'm
No,
fucking
definitely
proud of
not.
myself for doing that.
No, definitely not. Wait, is it really your birthday?
It's my birthday month.
Oh, fuck you, dude. All right. Well,
Just
then,
kidding. My birthday passed already.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so high right now. Like I'm having a hard time functioning. That's how high I am. I mean, I told you the shit story. The
Is there
goddamn.
is there anything you want to wrap up on? We can end it.
No, I'm having fun. I'm just saying. I told you the shit story. The goddamn shit story.
It's the best story ever.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
I think
I'm happy.
everybody in the world has experienced smelling their hand to make sure it didn't smell like shit.
Yeah.
Would you like a chocolate covered pretzel?
No, I know what that is. No, dude, fuck. Shit. Yeah, no, I know. I like telling that story. I'm just saying I'm just real high, so that's why I know like I probably wouldn't normally tell that story.
Where do
I'm
you
not
what do you tend to think about when you're high? Like where does your
I don't
mind go?
actually I think a rest, to be honest, when I think about it. I think my mind's constantly going. And I think when I smoke, it's like, there it is. That's what I hear.
Nothing?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think that's why I like enjoy smoking so much. No, don't get me wrong. If we ever get into conversation and that kind of thing, or if I'm watching a movie, maybe I'm thinking, but I think for the most part, when I smoke, my mind is very clear.
I'm the opposite. My mind ramps up to things that I don't ever want to imagine. It's like Family Guy. Like my mind goes on like times 6 speed where it's like all these Family Guy skits going on in my head. Like what happens if
Yeah,
I
I can
take a
see
nail
that.
clipper to my tooth? What happens if I stick my finger in a doorway and shut it real hard? What happens if like I decided just to grab my tooth and twist? Like it's just all these random
Yeah, I
freaking
don't think
things where
that.
it's like painful
Why
and
does it all
horrible.
hurt? Yeah, why does they go
Because
everything want to
my
hurt you?
life is pain. I don't know. I don't get
Dude,
it.
do you want to hear
Adderall
something?
helps me the most. It keeps my mind like clear as shit, where it's like
Okay.
you can focus
Speaking
now.
of self-inflicted wounds, right? My friend, I gotta show you this. I can actually pull it up. I think it will come up. Uh let me see. He
What
sent
about
me
the
this.
audio only listeners?
Well, there you have to describe it, dude. This is horribly gross, just so you know. Dude, this is zoomed in. Okay. This is
Is
look
that your
at that.
finger?
No, that's my friend's bottom of his foot.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I had that happen when I used to walk around barefoot doing jet
okay, so
skis.
did he. So he used to always hold on. He used to always, yeah, walk around barefoot as well, right? And when we were kids, I used to make fun of him because like we'd play, he'd like be playing like at my house playing video games with his shoes off or whatever. And I was like, dude, you're fucking, we call them the pads because it looked like a fucking like brown, green, blackish pad on the bottom of his
Yeah.
foot, and because he was from New York and he used to walk and hang out walk on rooftops that were, his feet were, he never felt anything. So when he moved to where I moved to Florida, this is like we graduated high school, so I'm like 17 years old, 18, just moved to Florida. He came down to visit me for like 2 months, right? And he stayed with me I'm living with my family, and we didn't have money and shit, so I wasn't working. I was 18, I got an allowance, that was all. And he had like an X amount of time, and he was like, he didn't have budget for 2 months of fucking being there. He had budget for he had 2 months of budget, but we probably spent on the first week of being two 17, 18-year-old guys in Florida for the first time, Orlando, and so we started getting really fucking bored. And one of the things we did, I remember we were talking about his feet, and I was just like, dude, I was like, John, do you still have those like your pads on your foot? He's like, yeah, brother, look. And I'm like, how fucking like, I'm like, I know you don't feel good. Someone saying, I'm like, I know you don't feel like pain, if like you stand on like on like a hot surface, but what about like if you actually put like a lighter to the body? He's like, I don't know, let's fucking try it. No, this is, man, imagine if there's TikTok nowadays, you're back then. So dude, he held his foot up and he's like sitting like kind of with his one leg crossed, and I'm sitting there with barbecue lighter, the long ones that you like barbecue with or whatever. And I'm holding it and just holding it to the bottom of his foot. And he's like, wait, he's like, no, I don't feel anything. And it's like turning the bottom of his foot like black, because of the fucking just the lighter sitting on it. And so he's like, what else can we try? Dude, long story short, we ended up, dude, I fucking drilled. I got a fucking drill and drilled into his fucking foot. And then I put solder. Like we filled the hole with hot solder. Like,
That's fucking
and
horrible.
it was horrible. And my dad walked into us. I'll just remember, I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And I'm like, and then he stopped. He went, wait. And then next thing my dad's like into it too. He's like, yeah, put a little more in there. Like, you don't feel that? And I'm like, we're all just sitting there. He's smelling his foot. God damn it.
That's shit.
God damn.
That's way better than my story. I used to walk around barefoot because I used to walk to work, which was like probably a good like 4 miles or so. But walking across concrete, walking across like everything, like a bridge, metal, steel, everything, where eventually my feet just became really callous because I worked on the docks all day doing jet skis. And eventually I went to go push, you would push off the dock to push these jet skis out. And I had my foot using it as leverage, the dock slipped, and I got this straight up like long ass fucking like 4-inch splinter all the way in my like heel, like the lower part of the callus, and it went right all the way through. And it was a deeper cut than that because I had cut the callus off and out. To dig it out, I took my buddy's knife that he had, his pocket knife, flipped it open, and I just stuck the knife into the bottom of my heel and popped the splinter out, and it ripped off like so many layers of my skin, but I didn't feel any of that.
It's crazy. Yeah. I remember he like had solder in his fucking foot and he didn't feel it. It's crazy. And he said, that's what he sent me that photo. He's like, he had something ripped out. So, I mean, it's like, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's like a chunk. It looks like it's like that thick.
It's kind of like how my hands are. My hands are really callous. They sound like
yeah,
sand.
mine are too. Yeah. Yeah. That's where mine are like that
It's
too.
called workman's hands. Whenever you shake somebody's hands, they go, "Well, you must do a lot of labor." It's like, yes, I do. I definitely don't just work out repeatedly.
My hands all look like shit. I mean, but yeah, they're all like
that ring looks like it's cutting off circulation to your finger.
No, it's not very tight at all. No. Yeah, my hands are all fucked up.
Would you rather have the fists the size of 2 footballs, or George Foreman hands, we would say? Or would you rather have feet the size of 2 footballs?
Well, I want to have one big ass feet. That's
because I have flippers for feet.
I mean, for arm wrestling, I'd want my hands to eat. The bigger, the longer. I wish my palms are really big, but my fingers are short. Which in arm wrestling is good for offense, not so good for defense.
I would take you out in a thumb wrestling competition. That's my talent. I'll be a thumb wrestler.
Yeah, your thumbs are really long. See, my thumbs are short, but my hands are real like big. So
when I give you a thumbs up, it actually means something because
it does.
Like, damn, I can see that from Spain.
Yeah, I could feel it. And if you draw like a little face on it, you could see it. You'd have to use like big marker.
something that's not permanent because it doesn't. You ever see those videos of those kids that color in their face like clown makeup with like permanent marker, and they try
No.
and wash it off, and the girl's like, "It's not coming off," and then
Oh
the one
yeah, I
girl
think I've
just
seen.
turns and her whole face covered in clown makeup, and it's like the face of like, "Oh, you just realize you're screwed."
Yeah. Have you ever seen that one thing of the girl trying to wax her eyebrows and she pulls the tape off and it's like you can see her whole eyebrow comes off and she's like, oh my, like the
I
like because she
love
just put the
watching
tape to
those.
like because she was like you could see her like go like pull slow and you could see the whole eyebrows there. She's like and put they goes to put it back and then realizes and like she just runs off camera.
It's not like a sticker to your car when you pull it too fast. You got
Yeah,
to put it
it's
back
like
over.
oh dude, yeah, I could imagine.
I
Oh,
got
that
a
would
bubble. I
suck.
got a bubble. I got a
Yeah,
bubble.
that would suck. That would suck
It's
so
like when
bad.
you see the girls cut their hair and they
Oh
snip
yeah.
it and it's immediate regret. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, what you think was going to happen?
I hate that. I hate how all like how girls like always go through breakups and cut their hair.
They need change. Guys need
Yeah,
change too. We just happen to buy something or fill something with it with something.
yeah, I know, but we don't. And we end up trying. Most guys after a breakup end up looking better. You know, what I mean, girls look like they cut their hair and look like shit for a while until they decide to look better.
Well, it's
You
like
know.
when guys get into a relationship, you stop working out so much, you stop caring so much. And then when guys go through a breakup, they work out twice as much. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
there's this kid at my he got when he went to college, got gained like 50 pounds or something like that, get really into booze. And then he just spent like the past couple of months during like COVID and everything, just going to the gym severely and got
Hmm.
severely ripped. And it's like, that's
Hmm.
yep. It's all about
Yep.
just like he literally dedicated like 8 hours a day, just gym, 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 gym. And I was like, that's how you did it. When I got down to point like, or was it 3% body fat? I was going to the gym twice a day, working out like for like 4 hours each workout. So I was
Yeah.
spending my whole day fucking there, but I was shredded. But it's like, trying to keep that 24/7 is the biggest fucking haul in the universe.
Well, I think I mean there's that. I think too though. I think two things about working out. I think one, people use overtraining as an excuse, and I
It's
think of
bullshit.
the yeah, unless you're a fucking high level athlete, you're probably not overtraining.
I train
Um,
twice a day and I've trained every single day for 9 years and no overtraining here.
well, I mean, you know, someone could again, playing devil's advocate, I could go, well, let's see where your da 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 da, your ATP levels, your blah blah blah, your
My
central
heart
nervous
rate's
system.
at 50 and that's high. Like it's hard for me to go above that. Like when I was getting my tooth pulled, the
Mhm.
dentist hooked the heart monitors up to me and he's like, "You're at 50. I can't give you the IV to drop your heart rate lower to sedate you because you could slip off and die." And I was like, "So what's the fix?" He's like, "Well," and then I did it without any of the like they just I was a little bit numb, but they had to
Mhm.
just numb the mouth. They couldn't knock me out
Yeah,
for it. It was
local
just fucking
anesthetic. Yeah,
horrible. Yeah.
local
But it
anesthetic.
kept
Yeah.
beeping every 120 seconds. They had to keep muting it because that's as far as it would mute was 120 seconds. And like it
Hmm.
keeps dropping below 50 and it starts beeping at that point. And I'm like, also because mercury poisoning, because I ate way too many cans of tuna, my tips of my fingers and my toes will be like freezing cold, but then my middle of my where my heart is very, very warm because my body will stop trying to push blood to the other ends, like the farthest extremities, and trying to preserve it more towards my vital organs. So my
Hmm.
hands are like 58, 60 degrees, but my chest is like 90 or 85.
It's fucking wow. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, like for me, like I said, I just think in general, I think two things. I think people don't get results at the gym. A because of consistency, I think is the number one thing. But I think the other thing is because like real results, when people go, you know, like I've had so many people ask me about like working out and, you know, friends that I have that are on my team or, you know, when I come in, I look bigger or I feel a lot stronger on the table. It's so funny, man, because some people's natural thing is like, hey, man, what are you on? Like, what are you taking? You know, and I'm like, well, I'm taking Taco Bell. That's one thing. When if you're talking about consumption, but and then I watch people work out, and and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I just watch the intensity that most people, even people that consider themselves like, you know, I'm training hard, and then I watch them train, they're not training hard. Like, well, they might be training what feels hard, but they're not training in anywhere near their
That's just
the
I
top
I
end of their work capacity.
I always do abs every single workout. I always do like 30 or 40 minutes of abs.
It's
Um,
crazy.
fucking they used to be way worse. When I used to work out at 2 o'clock in the morning, I would work out till like 2 to like 5:30, and I would just do a straight up hour of like I would do the leg lifts from hanging from a bar, hanging leg raises. But I would
Yeah.
have like a 20-pound weight, and I would do those, and then I would do probably like 600 of those, and then I always do the ab crunch. I worked all right. So this just happened this morning during my workout. I made it to the bottom of the stack doing ab crunches where you pull the rope down and do the
Oh yeah.
crunch.
Yeah.
Made it to the bottom, and I was like, and I was sniffing and it felt like liquid. And I checked, my nose was bleeding. I was like,
I
maybe
thought you
that's
were
a
gonna say. I was gonna
time to
that you
stop.
shit yourself. You check. You're like, ah, God damn,
God,
God
yeah,
damn it,
can't smell.
God damn.
But I always like try and crank out like 800 of those. I try and work my way up from 52, do at least 200 each one, all the way down so I can get to like 77 or 82. But then, man, I just felt like I could hit the bottom of that stack, especially when I go to the bathroom when I can. Oh my God, dude, feeling 10 pounds lighter, I'm able to work out and stuff. You don't realize like when you're working out, oh, I feel like shit before a workout. I'm like, oh my God, I can't go. I haven't, it's so hard to do abs when you're bloated, bro. But then once you're
Yeah.
like fucking nothing to eat, going right to the gym, I could tell like when I eat and work out compared to when I don't eat and work out. I like not eating and working out because I just like feeling loose and light.
Me too.
But when I
Me too.
eat and then work out, it's like you feel kind of heavy, but you can get way more power into that shit. You can
Yes,
get more
yes.
strength from it.
And I think there's a time and place for both of those. I think too that, it's like you saying all that stuff like ab stuff. It's funny because when I worked at Universal Studios, we had every single year as a stunt performer, we had to take this like agility, like physical fitness agility test. And one of the things on there were, pull ups, like stair stepper, and then they check your heart rate, whatever flexibility test. And one of them was like crunches in a minute, where you like lay down, do a like kind of a sit up, and touch your elbows had to touch to your knees. What I mean, if someone's holding your ankles, you have to touch your elbows. And it was how many you could do in a minute. And I remember I had the record, like I set the record for it, and mine was 82 in 60 seconds. Because I'm sure the first were like 1, 2, it's like 1, 2, what I mean, like 2, obviously over 2 a second. And I remember everyone asking me, like the people running the PTs are like, oh, dude, like how often you train abs? Like how often you crunches? I'm like, never. I've never done a crunch in my life. Right. And I always had like super ripped abs and everything like that, but it was always, and people are like, well, what is it from? How can you do silly crunches? Because I did my hand balancing, my handstand stuff that I used to do in the circus. And my core was so strong from that. When I actually did go and do a crunch, I felt like I could do 10,000 of them, but I never did a real crunch. But what I was going to say is too, is it's interesting because once you get into shape, it's so much easier to work out when you're in shape.
Yeah.
I'm not saying because it is very difficult, like you said, to stay at that ideal, this percent body fat with this much. I'm not talking about that, but I understand where it's like, going to what I said about people aren't working out hard enough, because it's hard to work out hard when you're not in shape.
There's a difference
You know what I'm
between
saying?
not working out hard and then someone that sits on their phone and just sits on their phone. Because that's what I think a definition of like you're not working out hard is when you see a dude between a set just sitting on his phone for 45 minutes, then picks up the dumbbell, does 5 little things, and then sits it back down. I was on the elliptical. I was ready to do my ab shit like I was about to go into. And I walked over and this girl was just stretching for an hour and a half while I was watching like the ending of Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm fucking looking at her like, are you using this? And she's just like, yes, I am. Then did like 5 little sets and then was done. And I was like, you just stretched for an hour and a fucking half. You just sat there in a mirror and just looked at yourself and stretched. You didn't, and you just took up the equipment. Someone else could be using that. Someone else could have got their workout in. But it's so like I'm so like aggro when I'm in the gym because I need that before I can talk to people. I just can't talk to people unless I've worked out. But like every time I'm in the middle of a set, instead of like, you don't like, I was doing ab crunches. There's a weight bench all the way behind me, like a good 50 feet. Guy goes, you using this? I'm like, does it look like I'm fucking on it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
fucking A. And it's like this, man, I don't want to go into that. It's gonna get me all pissed off.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying it, but it's that weird catch 22 of it's hard to work out hard when you're not in shape.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that may be like one of those.
It's an
I'm not trying.
endurance thing. It's a weight
No, I'm
thing.
just saying physically the motions you can do. I can feel that when I get like stronger like right now. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love how, like, I was in the gym this morning, dude. I like how I look. I'm like, my shoulders are thick, my traps are big and shit, but my abs are like shit. You know what I mean? They're not good. I don't like, I have like two abs, like two and a half.
You got a car with a new engine, but no new tires and nothing else to show.
Well, what I'm saying is, but there, when I'm lifting weights, it feels really good. But when I'm doing, if I go to do something like an activity, it's harder. You know,
Yeah.
it's definitely harder. I am like, I'm talking about like, if I had to do like jumping jacks or like a burpee right now, it would be really difficult. Like, I wouldn't want to do it, you know?
Sounds painful.
But I know it's the thing I should be doing. It's the thing I should be doing. It's interesting because I talk to be like, I put these little things like I'm gonna start making more of content on my YouTube channel for arm wrestling stuff. Because I just see so many people there. The sport is really growing and there's a lot of new people because of that guy, Larry Wheels, the bodybuilder guy. I mean, arm wrestling's like got so much traffic. Like it's a really high trending.
What's the name of your channel?
Just my name, Jason Latona.
Okay. And where can people
And
find that on YouTube?
on YouTube, yeah, on Jason, it's just Jason Latona, and I'm eventually I'm gonna put out funny content, but I think right now I need to narrow myself to this particular audience, and one of the things that they always talk about in arm wrestling, like you do a survey of like, what do you want? What would you, if I could give you 10% more power as an arm wrestler in your hand or your arm, which would you take?
My hand.
And that's the right answer. I think that's the right answer. But here's the thing. There are guys out there with really strong arms and their hand does this. So or really strong hands, but their arm just opens up. You need the thing in your arm. But here's the reason why I'm asking that question. Because if you're saying, I want 10%, I would take 10% more strength in my hand, but you're in the gym constantly doing biceps. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's a disconnect. And I think people sometimes, and when they're kind of training, they're not training how they should be training because they're training how they think. They're not training what they should be training because they're training how they think they should train.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. It happens all the time. Like when people are doing back exercises, they think it's just about pulling as much weight as possible and not having proper form. It's this aspect of you've been told like more weight means bigger size, when really it's better form can also lead to better results when it comes to what you're aiming for. I know so many people, like for me, trying to reach the bottom of a stack when I'm doing a lat pull down. If I get to 140, it's when I go and try and pull it down, it yanks me out of my fucking seat. I gotta
Yeah.
go for one giant yank to bring it down to me, and then I can start doing my reps to be able to do it. But I have to make sure, like, I have to lock my feet under the fucking seat, or it'll bring me up out of it because I don't
Yeah.
weigh that much compared to that stack that I'm lifting. It's the same thing when I do pull-ups. I can do a ridiculous amount of pull-ups, and I never practice them. I never do them. But when I do them, it's my lower part of my body is way lighter than my upper
Mm.
strength. I'm able to pull myself out of a pool like it's nothing from my upper torso. I'm able to walk on my fucking hands, but I can't fucking use my legs for shit.
Well, and that's kind of what I was getting at. Not as much as people doing that exercising wrong. I agree. That's a whole nother thing too. But what I'm saying is, say you're a guy, right? And you, maybe, you ran a lot or as a kid, you played outside or you played soccer growing up, and now you're in high school or whatever, you're an older, maybe you're in college or whatever, even maybe you're an older gentleman, maybe you're in like 35 and you're like, what, I want to get kind of build my body. And you still got those big ass legs from doing soccer. You don't need to be doing legs right now because all that's going to happen is you're going to get more and more disproportionate. Your legs are going to get bigger and your body is going to get, even if it does get bigger, it's still going to look disproportionate. And, but that's what I mean. Like, people set up like adopting someone else's training thing. But if you naturally have big biceps and no shoulders, spend more time on your fucking shoulders, and the same thing with that question I ask, my arm wrestling buddies. Okay, well, if you, want more, well, if your answer is hand, why are you doing so many damn bicep curls right now and pull-ups and all that kind of stuff like that, but they'll challenge me, but they're like, oh, fuck, that makes sense. That's all I'm trying to ever make, dude, to people. And when I think about it, whether I'm talking about arm wrestling or mask or working out or fucking the earth's flat or God, I'm just like, kind of, you see what making sense here? I'm just trying to make people make sense out of everything.
I get you, but there's also a Domino's pizza downstairs that I'm starting to smell that's calling my name.
Do your thing.
I'm about to. It's we're hitting up on that 2-hour mark again. So I gotta cut it.
Goddamn.
God damn,
Goddamn.
God damn. Where can people find you? I already, we talked about the YouTube channel. So
Yeah, my
Jason,
Instagram's at Jason Latona. It's same, but this is my name, my Jason Latona.
any shout outs?
Nah, fuck everyone.
Okay. What about your buddy that's living in a van?
I'm still waiting to get him on the show with you, man. I think
I
you guys have
tried
an
to,
awesome.
but that was when I had something happen in the family.
I know,
So
and he said the same, but he's like real. I don't know. He's like, you guys would have an awesome conversation. I'll just say that you
about
would,
flat Earth.
man. I don't know about that, but about
Can I
life.
morph the flat Earth episode after this one so then people have 5 hours of us just going?
Nah, I don't care.
Okay. You said you
You
don't
do what you
care, but then you say no first. So that means no. Okay, I'll delete it. It's
maybe I
okay.
don't know. I don't care.
I'm
I
gonna
really
keep
don't
it for
care.
myself, to be honest with you, because
Yeah,
it's
send
fun
it
to
to me one
watch.
day. I'll watch it. If I think it's cool, I'll be like, yeah, okay, it's fun. But
Everyone
yeah,
listening, if you've made it this far into the episode, I want you to tweet or Instagram DM Jason Latona and ask him for the release of the episode.
if I get 5 people to do that,
5
then
people, I can make that happen quick.
okay, not that all your friends. If I can
Damn it.
20, if I get 20 people to do that, I would do it. Yeah, then let's do it.
I only
20.
have like 6 listeners. So you fucking, I
Yeah,
was
we'll say
there if you would have said 6,
20,
but then you
20
said
people.
20. Okay.
We'll
All
see.
right.
We can open it up.
Well, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
Love you, sir.